Welcome. You are listening to The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show. The Culture Climate raising the temperature in controversial conversations. I am your host, Sister Speak. The Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. But you better call me Sister Speak. How you living? How you breathing? How you vibing? How's your day going? Your evening, your night, whatever time you plan on listening to this episode on demand. I want to welcome all of my first time listeners. And I want to welcome back all of my faithful listeners. Thank you for continuing to we ain't gonna have this problem. Thank you for continuing to download my podcast in totality. The Sister Speak Show Network is a syndicated podcast on Amazon Alexa and Sonos, and it is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. On tonight's episode of The Culture Climate, under pressure, the habitual player, the for the streets culture, and the impact that it has on your energy. Ooh, Sister Speak, we're still trying to recover from the last episode you dropped. You said some things in there that were off the chain. Thanks. That's my assignment. But we're going to keep this ball rolling, so to speak, or maybe this rolling stone rolling, because we're going to get into it and how this particular habit is definitely throwing off the village and the algorithm within the village. It is affecting both male and female, and as well as children. It is creating a bad reputation for us in totality as well as individually. It puts us in a position to where we are having to just shake our heads and maybe even shrug our shoulders, because it almost seems as if a solution for this pollution is unreachable, unobtainable, not even possible to even think of. But that's a lie. As long as there is the Most High God, there is always a solution for any pollution. Get on board. So with this episode, what made me really want to just speak about it is because, on the other episode of the Culture Climate, I was speaking about the lineage leech and how the lineage leech, the female, her lies, her misrepresentation of identity for her children messes up the family tree. And it obviously, devastates the children. But I am not a one-sided show. I am not here to bash one gender. I am here to speak to the village about the village. And if you are a male or a female in the village, then, this is what it is. And I wasn't going to let the second party, it takes two to tango. I wasn't going to let the other tango partner get away with how he contributes to the algorithm being completely fucked up in the village. How the brother is, some of the brothers are on a war path of self-destruction and societal destruction. And the word lust is leading the way for why probably maybe 85% of these men are doing what they're doing and have done what they have done, and the devastation that they have left. If you look at the cover of this episode, you'll see this dynamic. No one wins. We know that from the beginning of this without even having to go too deep. And speaking of going too deep, I hope you have your scuba gear, your self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, because you will always need it in any conversation that we have as we go into different leagues of the sea on these episodes via conversation, as well as water. Water is vital for your life. It is necessary for you to think, act, breathe, move, do everything you need to do. If you don't know, you will know that if you don't like water, we can't be anything. Not cool, homies, friends, nothing. Like, I can't have people in my tribe who don't like to drink water. And that's pretty much it. Now, hold on. Let me pause this real quick. Okay, thank you. I just had to close the blinds. I don't want this to be bumping on my face. Okay. Now, you already know, tonight's episode, as any other episode, is for educational purposes only under the Fair Use Act, 1976. And that's just what this is, to raise awareness, educate, encourage our people to stop fucking up, our brothers to stop being whoremongers, our brothers to come back into the fold and to be leaders and to do their part. They're not all to blame. This is not one of those situations where I don't want any sister who listens to this episode to think that I'm here to just, there's a different angle that I'm going to go in and to address the behavior. Okay. Never ever think that I will side with any type of evil, fucked up behavior, whether it comes from a man or a woman. Some women get messed up in their minds when they think that every sister is on board with the bullshit, and every sister should have a one-sided thought process when it comes to us versus men. I'm not in the verses, first of all. I'm not in that. I'm not in the divide and conquer and dominate. I'm not in that when it comes to men. You will never find that being my angle, my heart, my spirit, my love, my anything. That's not how I made up. That's not what this is about. This is about talking about the fuck shit. This is about talking about the habitual player. Okay? That's what this is about. This is about talking about the amount of children that are born as a result of the habitual player. When I wrote under pressure in the title, that's because they are under pressure. There is a level of anxiety that these brothers who choose to be habitual players are under that sisters have no idea. Pent up, frustrated, always irritable, short, abrasive, hard to communicate with. That's because of the energy that they have to put out in order to do this, to be a habitual player. That's why that nigga snores like that at night. That's not because you put it on him. The nigga's tired and can't escape. Can't escape because he doesn't want to escape. And he would rather put himself and keep himself under that pressure than just fold and then come back into the fold. Give up his player ways, get on that Joe tip. I don't want to be a player no more. I think I found someone I can live my life for. And hopefully that would be for the Lord. Brother Joe, it's not about, ooh, he changed his life for me. Hopefully he changed his life because he knows the Most High God is the Most High God, and he changed it for himself, and you benefit from that. Women insert themselves sometimes in the equation, and it's not even about you in that first problem. It's not even about you. And if you go jumping yourself into the mix, trying to mess it up, trying to microwave his healing, trying to microwave his change, trying to microwave time and try to microwave what thus saith the Lord, then you might end up finding yourself on the reaping end of some traumas. So this is about the for the streets energy. Cannot come inside to save his life. That's what we're going to talk about. You should never be afraid to talk about the behaviors, because the behaviors are not afraid to present themselves into your energy. So you got to flip it around and know how much power you really have to speak on some stuff that is devastating, that is having us be delayed by many decades in our advancement as a people. So we cannot be shy about speaking about it, but we do have to have a way that we speak about it, because at the end of the day, I'm going to always say some. At the beginning of the day, I'm always going to say there are some who will and there are some who will not change. I'm going to address it. So without further ado, we're going to move forward and get into it. Of course, like I said, I've got some clips, and it was amazing with these clips, all you have to do is just, oh shoot, I hope this ain't getting bumping. Hold on, y'all. If y'all hear any, hold on. When I was, thank you for your patience. When I was, doing these, looking at the clips and researching, I was going way, 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 way back. And I'm like, how do I want to come at this angle? Because, it's like almost like a shock factor, some of the things that I discovered. Yeah, I have experiences and I've experienced some things, but when you can hear other people's account and then you get documents, video footage on things, it's just like, it just really brings everything into perspective of how long we as a people have robbed ourselves of genuine love for one another, how we have robbed ourselves of having good, healthy relationships, male and female relationships. We have missed the mark. We are nowhere near where we need to be when it comes to loving each other intimately and treating each other the way we were designed to treat each other innately. We have gone astray for a nut. And that's sad. For a nut to come, to have an orgasm, to feel sexual pleasures. We have gone astray. Our minds have ingested and have allowed horrible thought processes to dictate and navigate how we move in these streets. And there are some who are literally for the streets. They cannot get enough of the avenues, the boulevards, the one-ways. They cannot get enough of the courts, the cul-de-sacs. They cannot, the alleys, the parking garages, the streets. They can't. They've got to be in it, and they've got to be doing what, if they knew better, and I know a lot of them do know better, they out wilding out. You talk about a double life. What about a quadruple life? Out here reckless, tearing up their reputation by the second, and without any pause. There's no comma in the looseness. There are no breaks in this street life. It is skeet, skirt all throughout town. It is that secret call log. It is those secret save numbers. It is the I promise to do this. I promise to do that. It's the oh baby, it is the masquerade of manipulation. That's a lot of energy, and it is impacting the habitual player's energy daily. There is no harmony in being a hoe or a whoremonger. There is no harmony in discord. There's no harmony in you literally leaving out of the house and going into the streets, playing a role and expecting everything to be all good when you get back. Fuck no. Never. And the audacity in you getting mad that you've been exposed. We're going to talk about it. I have, I have some episodes about cheating leaves crumbs, part 1 and part 2. Very good episodes. You should check them out. I think I have it on the vent session. And until I see a shift in love between us, a respect of sexual preservation and conservation between us, I'm going to have to continue to put out episodes like this. And other people will continue to put out episodes like this because it needs to be spoken about, because it's not okay. It's not okay that the habitual player has 4 or 5 families throughout the United States and abroad. It's not okay that the habitual player is going to church with his secret family while having his other family right by his side. It's not okay that the habitual player has has children across town that he won't take care of, but he keeps on having sex with their mama. And then he's dipping and dabbling and moving all around town. Man, that shit is whack. And that's how some men move. And they have this excuse of that's just what a man does. Man, that's the most below basic excuse I've ever heard. And you need to do better for yourself. So we're going to get into it because the trail of tears, the trail of bricks, the trail of police reports, the trail of restraining orders, the trail of news coverage, the trail of funerals, the trail of stalking, the trail of job confrontations, fights, STDs, unwanted pregnancies. Too much. Before we go to commercial break, let me explain this to you. And hear me well. I find it to be rather disrespectful that some of you brothers who don't read the word at all would choose a passage about a brother and let that be the reason why you do what you do. What are you speaking about, Sister Speak? Some of you always speak about Solomon having many wives, and then here you come with your thought process and thinking that that's what you need to do and what you're entitled to do and what you're called to do. But you niggas never, ever want the wisdom that he had. I don't ever hear you talk about the wisdom and the favor that he had with the Most High. I don't ever hear you talk about that. Oh man, he had over 700. You get excited about that. That says to me, you have not yet put your foot on your sexual energy's neck. And you have not yet been able to tell your sexual energy to sit, lay down, roll over, heal, no, come, stop. Damn, you talking like I need to talk to my dick like it's a dog. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Go ahead and get a glass of water. You can take the heat, so go ahead and stay in the kitchen. Just make sure you keep listening to the Sister Speak show while you do it, because you're listening to The Culture Climate, raising the temperature in controversial conversations. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas.
Did you know that the Sister Speak Show is a syndicated podcast on Amazon Alexa and Sonos? Tell a friend. Also let them know that the show is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Thank you for downloading each episode on demand.
Welcome back. You are listening to The Culture Climate, raising the temperature in controversial conversations. Excuse me, clearing my throat all in your ear. Raising the temperature in controversial conversations. I am your host, Sister Speak, as you already know. Now, I'm going to warn you. This episode is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. There's no telling what I could say. There's no telling. I'm letting you know that right now. But I'm sure you already know how I roll. I'm sure you already know that I'm going to say some things that need to be said. Okay? So they may be strong, may have a punch to it, a sting to it, but it's just what needs to be said. There are some clips in here that are intentional. And you are not to be grossed out by it, okay? You will hear some footage of women confronting the man that's for the streets, the player, the habitual player. This is not to glorify the behavior. This is to educate and raise awareness about how we can conduct ourselves better in public and in private. Because it's what you do in private that spills into the public. And you're not really private about what you're doing in public because you're always in the streets. Somebody's always watching. Somebody always has a phone. Somebody's always on the line. Somebody's always gossiping. Somebody always has the tea. Somebody's always looking for a scandal. And somebody's always looking to catch you slipping because you're always out there. And you know what? There's an expiration date. You never know when it's coming, but it comes. And when it comes, oh boy. Why? Because you didn't slow your ass down yourself. You hit a pothole, kept going. Hit one of them hard ass, deep in the hood ass speed bumps, the one that's made out of nails and fucking steel. You hit one of them speed bumps, one of those speed bumps, you kept going. You had fender bender after fender bender. You hit the guardrail. You had a flat. You didn't care. You kept going outside. You keep going. You keep ignoring all of the warning signals. It's as if you are blind. It is as if you are deaf. It is as if you don't care about yourself. And you have had warning after warning after warning. And that's why I speak to the fact that you brothers don't want any of the wisdom. You just want the women, the bitches and the riches. And you want to keep pulling down your britches and sticking it to these women. You're worn out, brother. Dehydrated, depleted. Dick game ain't as good as it should be because you can't stop. You think you laying that pipe down. I'm telling you now, your shit is not popping. And it's never gonna pop. Your penis game will never reach the zenith that it could reach as long as you are a whoremonger. I don't give a fuck what you try to do. You will never be that man. Now you run tell your friends that part. And that's coming from just general wisdom. It's just spiritual wisdom. There's a rhythm to this life. The Lord is never going to change what he made good, what he made perfect, what he made honorable. What he said not to defile, he meant not to defile it. And when it comes to our marriages and our village, we are losing. And that is a 2-part loss. And that means that's a 2-part responsibility. And you sisters ain't going to get off the hook. This isn't, tell them, Sister Speak, this isn't one of those. This is, you could get it at any time. Just because you saw me talking about the habitual player, you also saw women on the cover too. So when you see the women on the cover, that means that how much are you going to continue to enable the habitual player? How long are you going to continue to allow this behavior to manifest and ruin? You didn't learn with the first child. You didn't learn with the second child. You didn't learn from the arrest. You didn't learn from the fight you lost. You didn't learn. You didn't learn from when he didn't show up when he said he would show up. You just keep engaging in this pattern with this habitual player. You're under pressure too. You're feeling the impact of that for the streets culture too. And you need to ask yourself, are you for the streets too? Because you can't meet him where you're not at. So wherever he's at, you're at. And it's not cute. It's not cute. I think some of our people, I don't know why we want to be who we were never created to be. We were never created to be this low in our beings, in our thought processes, in our spirituality. We were never meant to assimilate the way the nations do what the fuck they do. Our people are so busy trying to be like the other people that we don't even embrace and accept and adorn and live out the glory of how we were made. We were given sets of rules and regulations that would keep us from dysfunctioning, but we don't give a fuck. We just want to twerk and figure out the latest fucking line dance. And we want to do all this messy shit that doesn't amount to anything. That's not fair. Because there are some people in the village who don't want to be a part of what comes with being a victim of a habitual player. Whether it's a male or a female, there are some friends that are faithful to their wives. And then you've got one brother in the circle who wants to go out and be for the streets. Now that's making it look bad for the rest of the brothers. That's attracting an energy to the rest of the brothers. And you don't know how that energy could transfer. And now not only is your household in trouble, so is this brother's household. Now this brother's household is in trouble because of your fucked off energy. This isn't one of them things. Look, we could talk all day about childhood trauma. We could talk all day about things that have happened that led up to this, that led up to that. But at the beginning of the day, I'm gonna still say, fix the shit and get a grip. Everybody don't want you. There are some women who are offended by your energy, brother. She must not know who I am. And neither do you. And neither do you. Thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. We are going to go ahead and get into these clips for educational purposes only on tonight's episode of the tour. Under Pressure, the habitual player, the For the Streets culture, and the impact that it has on your energy. Who am I? Sister Speak. Who are you? A wonderful listening audience. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the other side of these clips. Hang on in there, get your water, open up your mind, and I hope that the spirit of conviction have its way, and that my brothers and my sisters decide to go into a season of celibacy. My goodness. Mm, mm. You can't buy celibacy at the store, y'all. You can't purchase it online. You can't grab it at your market. You can't even grow it in your garden. It's an inward work where you say enough is enough.
So let me ask you this question, Jay. 34 children. At any point, did it dawn on you, this is too much?
No.
So at child 15, you never said, let me use a condom?
I did use condoms.
How many?
I probably would have 200 kids if I didn't use condoms.
Really? Mm-hmm. Did it ever dawn on you, let me get a vasectomy?
No.
Why not?
I don't want one.
But look what you've created.
I don't have a problem with what I created.
Okay, so this one, your hand is in her eye. This one over here, the face is buried. And what can you do right now, holding these 14 babies, with all of them behind you that you don't even have your hand on? What can you, one man, do right now? Tell me, for these children, what can you do? Excuse me.
Okay.
Are you aware that you just thunked that baby's head on the chair? And that one down there is hurt. Can I ask you why you put your children down?
I'm tired of holding the dolls.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. As a mom, I don't get not to take care of my children, no matter what I'm thinking or feeling or going on. I had to figure out and find the time and the way to get myself handled, but they were first. And I didn't get to just put them down because it was inconvenient. You all be friends or not, I just want you all to know the truth and make choices from your place of power and not from your place of brokenness. And if you know the man that you're in love with, in lust with, in heat with, is sleeping with another woman, go get you a Bob. You know what a Bob is? Mm-hmm. A battery-operated boyfriend. Do something else!
Pause. That advice is not any type of view associated with the Sister Speak show. What Iyanla just told the sisters to do to go and get a dildo. Okay? That's the last fucking thing you need in your life, and I come against that advice. A woman who is consistently using her body and having sex is a woman, and I'm talking about just continuously, is a woman who is taking away from her elasticity. Yeah, you can have snapback. Yeah, you can, and all of that, okay? But at the beginning of the day, you're trying to heal from what has a grip on you. The last thing you need is a replica of what already has you fucked in the game in the first place. The last thing you need is to see another dick, whether it be real or not. Complete celibacy is just that. You don't need to be, You don't need to be trying to please yourself. You've already done enough of that, and look what pleasing yourself got you. Look at the journey that it takes you on when you are seeking your own pleasures that are of a low vibration, that continue to bring harm to you and now your children, your reputation, your energy. the type of men you attract, the type of men you let in your home, the type of men you let make promise after promise to you only to abandon you. Don't ever dumb yourself down to a fake penis as a way to get you off. The last thing you need to be having is an orgasm. You need to be holding back. And I mean that. That's real shit. And that laugh. Gosh. Anybody who laughs like that, don't take their advice.
All right.
First of all, the situation is completely different than the way that it appears right now and the way it's been out to be. They see it. I can't lie to them because they know. And you're right here. I can't. I have no choice but to be honest at this point. It's impossible.
Is he being honest?
I lied. I mean, if I can't say anything, I shouldn't say nothing. I don't trust you right now. That's how I feel. And I'm hurt by you. That's how I feel.
I can hear that. Thank you for that.
I mean, it's just not right.
Thank you for that honesty.
You made me think that this was going to be something that wasn't.
Don't you dare put that tissue down.
I can't give him.
No. He's a big boy. Let him take care of
It doesn't
himself.
matter. I can take care of myself.
Let him take care of himself.
But you told me this was going to be something.
I told you I was going to blow your world
Come on,
up.
man, but you didn't tell me you were going to resort to antics and tactics and things that weren't honest and integral. You didn't tell me that. It doesn't matter.
Such as what?
Doesn't matter.
Such as
The
what?
tactics
No,
that
it
you
does
used.
matter. Such
Because
as
you took
what?
little fragments from everybody's life and threw them out there so they could be an explosion. I just want to leave, man.
Okay, so go ahead and leave. You award those too. It was imperative that these women hear it from his mouth. And he was doing well until he got confronted with telling the absolute unbridled truth to everybody. The thing is, this is woman talk now. But if you accommodate that and tolerate that, and then after a week, a month, a day, or whatever, he can come back to worship at the temple, then there's no consequence for it. No.
Right.
You've done that one time too many, and I am complete. No more. This pathology of abandonment has been and continues to be devastating for Jay and everyone in his life.
He'll know.
In the same way Jay's parents walked out on him, he's now walking out on the process. I'm unfazed. Because the most important thing for me is that I leave you women home. Why? Because you got them babies.
Yeah.
That's right. Secure the children first. So, this is a man who, after 3 days of work, when he couldn't have his way with me, he turned on me, made me wrong, denounced the process, and walked out. If he's done, I'm done. Don't chase him. Don't follow him. If he's done, I'm done. Hello? You know why? I know who I sleep with.
This is News Channel 5 at 6.
Hi, everyone. He considers himself a ladies' man.
And this so-called Romeo admits fathering 22 children by 14 different women, making him one of the Mid-State's most expensive deadbeat dads. News Channel 5's Nick Barris uncovered this exclusive story. Nick, you were there when Orlando Shaw went before a judge today, right?
That's right. You know, the mothers took Shaw to court seeking thousands in child support. Get this, his children range from infant twins to an 18-year-old. Shaw doesn't pay for the children, but in an exclusive interview, he says he wanted them all.
I wanted 50 kids.
Well, you're almost halfway there.
Hey, I don't want no more.
Apparently, 22 is now enough for Orlando Shaw.
Don't want no more kids. I want to be fixed.
That's his choice, and no one at the Davidson County Juvenile Court is going to object. Cases involving Shaw's children can fill an entire...
Normally, I will let my clips play and just hold my commentary, but this is my show and I can do what I want to do. Right? Right. Okay, listen. When you say you want to be fixed, please don't just let it be a vasectomy. What really needs to be fixed is that thing that you struggle with on the inside that dictates you into the streets and tells you, sleep with this woman, sleep with that woman, lie to this woman, do that, make these babies, be reckless, don't use a condom, you look good, you the nigga, you the man, oh, you big pimping, all these things just to get you to destroy yourself. And the only thing that you want to fix is just that little snip, get that snip, so you can continue to be the same nigga, but now you just ain't having no children. But you still lying, you still cheating, you still out here reckless, and you still think you this shit, and you still untouchable. Shit is not funny. It's not a joke at all. You know, there's more than one thing that needs to be fixed, brother. You need to fix whatever it is on the inside. And why go through those, medical steps to, get it snipped when it's a spiritual issue that you have an issue for? You need spiritual help. Because if you can conquer it in the spirit, then you don't have to battle it in the flesh anymore. And then go through a carnal solution for a spiritual problem. You want to pull down the stronghold, not uplift it.
Docket.
Britton versus Shaw. We have Jenkins and Shaw, Williams and Shaw, and then Fain and Shaw, Jones and Shaw, different Jones and Shaw.
And the list goes on and on of the mothers represented by Child Support Services seeking support for their children.
I've never doubted Mr. Shaw's love for his children.
But Shaw is tens of thousands of dollars behind in support payments.
What we're looking for is to come up with a solution to have parents be financially responsible for their children.
Magistrate Scott Rosenberg knows that would be good for both the children and the taxpayers. When Shaw doesn't pay, the state has to help support his kids. Consider $142 per child in temporary assistance and another $200 or so in food stamps. Multiply that total by 22 kids and the state pays more than $7,000 each month. So how on earth does a man in his early 30s explain fathering nearly 24 children with more than 13 women? The only way to find out is to ask. That's what we did. Listen.
I love my kids, and I can care less what anybody think about it.
Are you able to pay child support?
I can't pay no child support right now. They know I can't pay them no child support right now.
How do you father to that many children with that many women? It's hard to be in more than one place at once, isn't it?
It's called cell phones. It's called pick them up.
I wish I had a slap button on this.
What about contraception? Was that
Have to
just not
get
an
it put
option
on
for you?
here.
I was young, ambitious. I was just young and ambitious, and I loved women. Hey, you can't knock no man for loving women.
Ladies like you?
The ladies.
Listen, sometimes I'll get off my episodes like, well, I should have said that. I should have said that. I'm not going to have that tonight. I need you cackling hood rats in the back. You cackling hens, you enablers, you emus. I need you all to stop encouraging this nigga to show dance and showcase and perform. The last thing he needed was a camera on him. That's the last thing he needed. Because now he thinks that what he's done is humorous. It's okay. 22 children that he's not taking care of financially according to these documents and according to, the numbers that they threw out. And the fact that the state is having to step in. That's not funny. And too many of our sisters support bad niggas. Bad men. You support them, you raise them, you enable them, and you will knock down and go toe-to-toe and try to fight anybody trying to say, hey, What he is doing is wrong. You will harass the victim instead of harassing the villain. That's just not cute. They just laughing in the back. That type of laugh lets me think that he done dick some of y'all down too. More than just some supporters. Let me get back to it.
Love me. They don't like me. They love me. The ladies love me. They don't like me.
You like the idea of having that many children out there that you fathered, is that it?
Yeah, Shaw legacy lives on. My family stays strong. I make sure we'll be here for years and years to come.
A legacy of what? A legacy of what? A legacy of what? Abandonment, neglect, not taking care of your responsibilities, habitual sex, laughing things off that are serious, not handling your business, a legacy of heartbreak, a legacy of when daddy dies, there is no inheritance. How you gonna split a $2 check with 22 kids? What did daddy leave us? A gift card to Popeyes. Damn. That's all he left. How much is on the card? $3.15. You checked? Yeah. That's the only thing a legacy of what? If you don't turn from your whoremongering ways, a legacy of destruction, a legacy of self-destruction, a legacy of low self-esteem, a legacy of thinking that it is okay to be that way. Fuck out of here with your legacy.
That is a very interesting snapshot into what a guy like that thinks. Clearly, he, as you saw, was very open about his situation and seemed to take a great pride in fathering so many children, Vicky.
What can the magistrate do about it, Nick?
Well, I'll tell you, he could throw Shaw in jail again. He's been there several times before. It didn't seem to work. But then he'd also absolutely have no chance of earning an income to help pay for these kids. For now, the best the court can do, well, they're working with Shaw to spend more time with his family.
All right, thanks, Nick. Davidson County Juvenile Court handles...
Radio bring you real issues, real stories to real people. This interview, man, and you watching, man. You talking to real people with real stuff and real shit to say, okay? Oh, now we got it. I've been out here since I was 16, man. You feel me? I done sold dope out here. I done sold crack in the street, man. I done did drugs, man. I done been through 6-7 rehabs. I done been through a little bit of it all around here. You know, and the prostitution around here, man, is quick money. You got a lot of other people that ride through here, man, that just freak as anything else. I'm talking about some real folks. I'm talking about superstars, man. And if I get to rolling down a list of names, a lot of folks ain't gonna be happy, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about a lot of folks. I'm talking about, man, from Academy Award winning actors, man, to Grammy winning Oscar knowing people. I mean, I got names, man, and numbers to call out, man. I done seen, man, you know what I mean, cats, man, they don't want Academy Awards, man, come down here, man, and they want something in their butt, you know what I mean? Or they want their nipples sucked, or they want something, you know what I mean? You know, all out freaky, you feel me? On the current night, man, you might make, man, you know what I mean, $120. But, man, to get to the point now, you got some people who half-ass hustling around here, man, that ain't making that money like that, you feel what I'm saying? It's like this, hey, if you can't make zero, man, you gotta find something to do. Cause I come out here and it's good people, man. Like my cat, my dog right here, my uncle that raised me, man, you know what I mean, told me, man, about how these streets were, man. When I ain't used to listen to him, just tell me you gonna be a hard head, making soft fast. And I ain't learned. And a lot of times I got mixed up or jumped in cars on the covers or, you know what I mean, this, that, and the third, and the thing will make it so bad. You may just do your little thing, you know what I mean? They may say, well, you know, we said $5 to give you some edge. You be like, man, hold on, man. I ain't tell you no shit like that, but you know, when you go to court, man, it's either there or, you know what I mean, you can battle it or you can take a 6 months in jail, you know what I mean? We had a cat, man, George William Riley, that was down in Atlanta City pre-trial that was giving guys 6 months, you know what I mean? Instead of giving us a program, man, that was not doing nothing, you know? But, you know, like I said, it's all about you just get yourself on the right point. Either you gonna walk, man, you know what I mean, with angels, man, or you gonna ride with the devil, you feel what I'm saying? And, you know, the best thing you want to spend the rest of your life being on interviews, because you got a lot of cats, man, that you may cook up with, go to a hotel with, you know, you do your thing, man, and they got you on tape, and guess what? You on blackboys.com, or, you know what I mean, freakyboys.com, you know what I mean? Or you may be on a sex tape, man, in a gay club, and you like, you know what I mean, somebody like, well, man, I remember you remember you that dude from that flick. What flick you talking about? You know what I mean? You know, so a lot of times, man, you have to, you know, watch yourself, you know what I mean, stay true. Like you saw something too, you have to be careful, you know what I mean, with your corners, you know what I mean? Because you may have cats, man, say, you know what, you got your own corner, yo, yeah, I got my own corner, you know what I mean? You may say, you know, I don't have no corner. Cat may go in the bathroom, punch holes in the corner, you feel what I'm saying? You know, I don't know, plenty of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I thank God out of blessing I'm not caught no disease out here, but that ain't about it. I don't want to bring no disease, man, none. I got kids and stuff, man, you know what I mean? Anything about it, man, I had to realize myself. Do I want to be out here continuing the rest of my life out here trying to trick off, or do I just, stay focused, man, and, get me a job and stuff like that? So, it's tough, you know what I mean? And it's just real shit, real talk, you know what I mean? And a lot of cats don't know, So, a lot of y'all cats, if y'all looking at it, y'all may see me down emotions down. I work at the house nightclub, so a lot of y'all may see me like, damn, man, is that the same cat down there, man, you know what I mean? And I'm just telling you real shit, man, real talk, man, you know what I mean? And this ain't Jesus talking to you, T.I. and none of the rest of these niggas talk to you, because let me tell you, all of those stuff that these niggas doing in these rap videos and stuff too, that's another thing. They ain't real hustlers. This is real hustling in the South, man. This is real.
Satan, get thee behind me. Listen. This is going to be a reaction episode, obviously. And I think y'all appreciate my commentary, especially when it's humorous, right? Let me find out you niggas is spinning the block to get your nipples sucked by other men. Let me find out. What do you mean let you find out, Sister Speak? You just found out. So y'all niggas is spinning the block to get your nipples licked? So you're not really going out to get a loaf of bread or going to the store to go get a Swisher or some juice or whatever, some chips. You wasn't really going to get a number 2 from Whataburger. You wouldn't. Y'all niggas is spinning the block to get your nipples licked by other men? Y'all is in the streets real tough. First of all, the guy who was talking, shout out to you for never having to breathe but once a day. That nigga took one breath and gasped. You hear me? But did you hear everything that he said? People you wouldn't believe that are in the streets are in the streets. And they're asking for sexual favors and participating in things that are leading them to even be exposed through the videos and played in gay clubs. That's a whole nother level of blackmail and manipulation. How bad do you want to be in these streets, brothers? I'm serious. The habitual player is under pressure. He's under so much pressure, he's trying to bend the corner to get his nipple licked, y'all. My goodness.
Real hustling in the South. You know what I mean? This real hustling in the South. You know what I mean? Straight from the GA, man. A-Town represent, man. That's what's up, man. Your boy Freddie O, bring you real issues, real topics to real people. You know what I mean? Stay tuned. Go to freddyo.com to get all your stories. You know what I mean? Whatever you need to know, we got it. You know what? I want to give a shout out to my girl Sandra Rose.
Really. Watch as a woman driving this red Mustang plows into her bicycle-riding boyfriend on purpose, police say. You could see the man bounce off the hood over the roof and flips several times before landing face down on the pavement. A few other bikers come to the man's aid, and he eventually starts running away, but then stumbles to the ground. A homeowner's surveillance camera captured the horrifying video in this Phoenix, Arizona neighborhood. According to police documents, this woman, 44-year-old Misty Wilkie, was allegedly arguing with her lover in a park after learning he was HIV positive. She claims the man pulled out a pocket knife on her. After the crash, Wilkie reportedly called police from home to say she didn't mean to hit the man. She says she was angry and drove off, not realizing she hit someone until he bounced off her car, published reports state. Wilkie was arrested and faces charges of attempted murder and aggravated assault. For InsideEdition.com, I'm Lee Shavis.
That ain't your motherfucking homegirl. Who the fuck is she? This what the fuck you do? I have to fucking follow you? This is what you do? Take off my motherfucking shoes. Take off my shoes. I bought them bitches for your birthday. Take them off. Take off the socks too. Take off the fucking socks. Take them off. I want those. Take them off. Take them off. Yup. Take them off. Thank you. Take them off. Take them off, nigga. This what the fuck you do? You's a nasty nigga. You's a nasty dirty pics, man. That's some dirty shit, man. I'm here ringing up my food. You know?
You okay?
I'm okay. That bitch took my shoes and everything, man. That's my girlfriend. That's my homegirl. My homegirl. My homegirl right there.
Listen, listen. When you're for the streets, you're going to get confronted. And you brothers who are for the streets, specifically only speaking to the habitual player, you are not wise enough to keep this shit going. That's why she caught you at Walmart with the girl with the rainbow bright hair weave. That's a whole nother episode within itself. It was stiff, but digressing. Your main chick, obviously, the one who's supporting you, caught you in Walmart in the self-checkout line with your other chick, who's just your homegirl. She didn't know that, though. She knows that now. Her feelings are hurt. Why? Because she's your girl. But in front of your other girl, she's just your homegirl. All of that takes away and depletes your energy, brother. You can't think on your feet quick enough. You know why? Because she took your shoes off of your feet and took the socks, my guy. Not the socks. Bro, she took your socks. Your feet were standing on the cold, nasty, bacteria-infested floor. Flat feet. People looking at and took the drink and threw it on your white tee because you're a habitual player. You can't get enough of the recklessness. And he is not the first brother to be humiliated. But that's the energy that you put out. It is the law of reciprocity. You humiliate me, and if I am in a low vibrating energy, I'm going to be petty and humiliate you. I'm going to track you down because you're moving funny. You're not moving the way you used to move. And I know some shit is up. And I'm going to find you, and I am going to confront you about you. Because what you told me at the crib is not what I'm seeing before my eyes. And I'm going to believe what I see versus what you say. So run me them ugly ass Big 5 clearance Nikes that I bought you. Because those were some what the fuck 11s. And run me the black socks that you had no business having on with them kicks, because you should have had on some sports ankle socks. So that lets you know she really don't care about you. You don't care about yourself to have that on. Another show. Focus. But that's what she broke you down to. Your player ways got you caught up in Walmart. And that's supposed to be a greater value store. Now you tell me, where's the greater value in that?
It's my... To the fourth floor. Taking the stairs to the fourth floor. She don't know I'm fat. It's like walking up my steps.
Pause. 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 Before this clip even plays out, this is a clip of another confrontation, but I was just thinking about the what the fuck 11s that he had on, right? And see a female that doesn't want any other female to look at her man will do some petty shit like that. Buy her man some kicks that you know in your mind ain't nobody finna choose my nigga over these. These right here, ain't nobody finna walk up on him and be like, he the one. Because these kicks right here don't scream, let me see what's up with baby. You feel me? She bought him some community service Nikes. And she was really mad because in spite of them Nikes that she bought him, the what the fuck 11s, somebody still chose him. He still was able to pull. That's where part of that anger came from. Like, damn, you was still able to pull even though I bought you them joints? Even though I bought you them joints from Alibaba? Damn. Okay, now we move on to Brooklyn. Now we move on to Brooklyn. And they were the color of the Denver Broncos. They were the Denver Bronco colors. Nigga, she brought you some helmets. It's like she melted some helmets into some shoes and was like, here, nigga, go. She don't really care about you anyway, just based on the kicks. You my man, you ain't look, I'm confident. Just on the fact that people know that you're with me, I ain't finna gift you a pair of kicks that was $1.50. I'm just not. It's like, did you iron the Nike sign on? Is this some DIY Nikes? Is this a chia Nikes? And he still got chose, sis. He still got chose. Take my shirt off. You ain't finna get no tail with my socks and my shoes on. And by the way, your white tee, boom. Here goes the high C fruit punch from Wingstop. All right, we're moving to Brooklyn. This next confrontation is worse.
That was a girl. Where's my dad? Why are you playing? Why are you playing with me? You can't see a phone. What am I doing? Why you can't see a phone? Why are you pushing me down the stairs though? Because you know you don't. You got somebody in the house like you stupid. Get over me, why? Boy, that ass. You cat ass on. That ass. home. He said he don't fuck with you. He said all type of shit. All type of shit. All type of shit. And I'm just there to entertain. I'm just acting like my little girl.
And I fucking relax. Who the fuck is this? Don't fucking grab on me. AJ, I will beat the shit out of you. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Who is this? No, ain't no come here. Who the fuck is this? You got some explaining to do, buddy. What's
Yeah,
up?
explain. Tell her. Tell her I was just here for how many days? What, 3 days? Tell her you was doing all type of shit. Tell her. Tell her what you said about her. Tell her you don't fuck with her. Tell her all that. Tell her.
Tell you
Tell her.
shit, friend.
Tell her.
No, bitch.
Tell her.
I'm gonna tell her.
Don't include me. Tell her.
What you been doing, lady? So every time I go home, this what you do? This what you do when I go home? I go home.
He said, don't live here.
Yes, this is what he does.
I don't live in my
What's that here? Yeah, what's that? All that. All that 10-year-old daughter. All that. All that. All that. Yeah, all that.
You want to tell my business? All that?
Yeah.
This what you want now?
It's a lie. Yeah. I knew it though. I'm not dumb. Because every time you FaceTime me, you keep FaceTime me outside, never inside your crib, doing some whole different shit. Like I'm stupid. Everybody's stupid. Dummy. You the only dummy. Go ahead and tell me come back to this. I can take a cab, bro. I got cab money. It's so bro. I've been over here so many times so far. I got a fucking Columbia cab service on my phone. You dumb? You mean? What was you talking about? Don't ever try to play me. I'm not a dummy. I'm not a dummy. I'm not a dummy. You can go. Not a dummy.
Ain't no you nothing, nigga.
You
Fuck
can
is
go.
you talking about? You nothing, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? You got her laying in our bed. Nigga, fuck is wrong with you? She's watching our cable. Fuck is wrong with you? She using my tissue, my soap, my brush.
I don't use no brush. I got a bobby. I use
No, I'm not stretching
my own
shit.
toothpaste, all that.
What? Let's go. I'm gonna do this right here in front of them.
It is this fucking thing.
Let's go. Let's go.
Fuck going on with my shit,
Let's
man.
go.
She can't have number.
You good? He's never good. He ain't good, Jill. No, you not. Let's go.
You had the whole I eat ass video. You eat mad ass.
That's what you do?
Yeah.
See ass, next.
Pussy ass, all that. I want to rock this business so bad.
Listen. I was conceived in Brooklyn, so I'm always here for the accent, dead ass. This is what the fuck you do? Dummy, I ain't never no dummy. Listen. We've been there before, some of us. Let's just be honest. Caught up, didn't know, thought you was the only one, found out you was not the only one. You've even confronted, gone through the phone, had the intuition, the whole nine. And then you just get to a point where you're like, look, I'm not going to be confronting nobody about nothing. I ain't picking up I'm not going to go through this cycle because look at the fucking headache that causes. The embarrassment, how loud shit can get. You know what I mean? There's only a level of loudness that you want your business to get out to in the first place. You're trying to dumb that shit down. I'm from the generation where damn, nigga, I ain't, nigga, damn, why you so loud? Yeah, damn. Nigga, you ain't got to be out. So this is what we finna do? This is what we finna do? So we just finna do this outside? This what we can't just go inside and talk about this? That's the generation I'm from. Everybody don't need to know what the hell is going on. Everybody doesn't need to know that, yes, I was skipping along thinking that you were incredible and honest and faithful and that I had something. And now, a wrecking ball has come to the relationship. Having to just be a player and get confronted like that. You trying to shush this girl, and you literally just don't know what to do when you're confronted. And your reaction says it all. And at some point, it's just like, how long are you going to continue to be a broken man trying to have a relationship? You have so many women, and these women represent the broken pieces in you. You're a broken man. So you do broken things. You are always on the left instead of the right because you're broken. And it is never okay to think that toxicity It's our inheritance. Guaranteed, one of those sisters is going to stay. You know, they're going to try to see it to the end because it's this competitiveness to let you know that I'm with him. Look at me. I've got him on this day. I'm with him now. I've got your husband now. Look at me. Yeah, you're the wife, but look at me. I've got him now, or whatever it is. Like, you know, that competitiveness over a man that's not even a prize. He's a man that is not a man in disguise. Underneath him, broken. The whole complex heard the fight. Guaranteed everybody turned their TV down. Let me explain something to you. Brother, when you get confronted by your main and your side or however that shit goes down, everybody in the vicinity is listening. I don't want you to think that we're not. Yeah, I'm guilty of it too. We're listening. We are listening to what the fuck is going on. We're listening to you be under pressure and how you're not handling it well. You can't handle more than one woman. That's why this shit blew up. You also can't handle one woman because you are not whole. You are not complete. You have not yet laid a foundation inside of yourself. This type of shit is going to continue to happen because you are for the streets. And when you are for the streets, the fact that you eat ass is going to come out. Why you're doing that? Who knows? But I just want you to know that your lips and the tip of your tongue are tired of tasting like shit. They would prefer not to even be down there. You have no business doing that. And it's always a problem when shit gets destroyed, blown up, sabotaged. It's always the exposure. Oh yeah, what did he, she tell you that, he eats ass. Oh, that's what you do? You don't eat my ass. You want him to? There's some things that's just like, look, I am not the girl for you. To any man who's interested in being my husband, okay? Because y'all be trying to holler, but y'all just ain't the... Anyway, to any man that's interested in being my man, let me explain some things to you so I can take the pressure off of you now. I don't need you to eat my bottom. My bottom is not on the menu ever. I don't need you to put yourself in a position that is unpleasing to me and should be unpleasing to you. There are some things that I don't require as pleasure that takes the pressure off of my man. There are many things that can be done to where you don't have to compromise or defile yourself. And when you are for the streets, you have the audacity to just be doing any and everything to where you end up depleting and draining yourself. You're going to always get caught.
And went on Facebook bragging about infecting her sexual partners with HIV. She even mentioned these partners on Facebook by name.
And this video really has sent shockwaves throughout the city of Americus in southwest Georgia, and now it's gone viral as well. 11 Alive's Latasha Giffens joins us, and there are so many people concerned trying to understand A, what this is all about, and B, if she is a credible figure throughout all of this.
That's right. This is alarming not just for her community, but for those around the state, especially when you consider the CDC has Georgia listed in the top 5 for states with the highest number of HIV infections.
I am HIV positive.
In this 1 minute and 20-second video, Brandy Yakima Lassiter of Americus, Georgia, not only states that she has HIV, but she goes on to list the men she believes she infected on purpose.
You HIV positive?
She even includes their wives and girlfriends who now may also be affected. Lassiter goes on bragging about revenge and wanting to watch them suffer.
I always get the last. Now I'm watching y'all die. I get real nasty and evil.
We talked to Major Herman Lamar with the Americus Police Department by phone. He says they are investigating her claims. How did you guys find out about this video?
On Friday, we received several forwarded links to the video.
The original Facebook post on her page has been taken down, but the viral video still lives on YouTube. At least one person named in the video has taken action against Lassiter.
One of those individuals named in the video contacted the Americus Police Department and filed a complaint of harassing communications against Ms. Lassiter, and the investigation began at that point.
Major Lamar says part of the investigation will be to determine if Lassiter does in fact have HIV. If she does, and knowingly infected others, she'll face serious charges under the Georgia law 16560, making it a crime to intentionally spread the disease. HIV.gov states about 1 in 7 people infected with HIV don't know their status. But even if it's proven this was some sort of a hoax, she could still face lesser charges. Police say there is a major takeaway regardless of how this investigation turns out.
Because it is quite alarming to anyone in any community, and we ask everyone to, if you're going to engage in risky behavior, also to practice safe sex.
And we asked police if Lassiter was under arrest, but investigators will only say she's being questioned at this time. We'll certainly keep you updated.
All right, Latasha, thanks a lot.
My first reaction, the doctor was really nice. I pretty much cried in the office for about an hour or so.
About 6 months ago, the doctor told this 27-year-old woman she has genital herpes. She's not alone. About half of African American women have the sexually transmitted disease. There is medication to suppress flare-ups of herpes, but no cure. She wants to remain anonymous because she worries her health, sexuality, and her chance for love are irreparably damaged.
It's something that would happen maybe a couple of times a year, yes, but I mean, with just the slightest touch, I can always give it to somebody else.
It increases your risk of acquiring HIV by 2 to 3-fold. So we're worried about it because if you actually acquire the HSV2 virus, then you are more susceptible or more likely then to acquire the HIV virus.
Dr. LaShawn Taylor led a recent CDC study indicating that 1 in 6 Americans between the ages of 14 and 49 are infected with herpes. The symptoms could be redness in the genital area, blisters, pain, or just soreness. Still, many people don't show any signs of this lifelong and incurable infection. That creates dangerous consequences for African American women. Experts say the stigma associated with having an STD hinders efforts to combat the infection.
It's psychological and social. Some, as I said, make the moral decision to not disclose, and others decide the best thing to do is to be honest, and they do, and they take their chances.
The CDC has an ongoing effort to increase awareness and lower the genital herpes infection rate. Still, this young woman wants the movement to work harder. Lila Ibrahim, The Associated Press.
That we'll talk about are some of the venereal diseases that can be shown up in the penis. In syphilis, the treatment is usually with penicillin and is very, very well responsive. And there are various categories of syphilis, and you can see here in this penis there's an ulcer on the head of the penis, which is what's called primary syphilis. You can also see that these red blotches in the patient's hand, these are manifestations of secondary syphilis. Chancroid is another disease that will manifest with ulcers on the penis. And as you can see here, large ulcers in the penis. It also causes large swellings in the inguinal lymph nodes. And you can't see it very well, but there's red swollen buboes in the groin on this individual. HPV, or human papillomavirus, is something that is of major concern in the United States today because of its widespread prevalence. There is a high association of HPV virus with cervical dysplasia and cervical cancer in women, and there is a small increased risk for penile cancer in men who have HPV virus. And we can show you the most common misconception for condyloma are what called pearly white papules. These are little white dots around the head of the penis. These are normal and expected, particularly noted in men who are uncircumcised. Circumcised men usually do not have them because just the friction of life rubs them away. This is a more classical look of what genital or penile warts look like. They can grow to large degrees, and as you can see, this gentleman who had sexual contact during his stay in Thailand with prostitutes, when he picked up the virus, he has large fungating lesions around the penis, as well as large balls of disease hanging off the scrotum as well. The management of HPV virus is multimodality. Small lesions can be treated either chemically, with liquid nitrogen, with topical creams, acids, or local fulguration. Larger lesions clearly need to be excised, and in this gentleman, he had excision of both the scrotum as well as a circumcision done as part of his treatment process.
You are currently listening to Under Pressure, the habitual player, the For the Streets culture and the impact it has on your energy, on the culture climate, raising the temperature in controversial conversations on the Sister Speak show. Although she's smiling, she has a secret, and this secret could destroy the entire dynamic of the family. A man expects his child to be his child. He expects Junior to be Junior if he's senior. However, paternity fraud continues to run rampant. It is not yet a crime punishable by law, so women continue to get away with it, targeting men after men who believe that they are the father. That means that people believe that these are their nieces, nephews, grandchildren, and cousins. How can a woman celebrate a lie? Who's devastated in the end? The children. Next on the culture climate, the lineage leech. When paternity fraud destroys the family tree. There won't be any more warnings. That's why your heart is beating fast. He's out there again. You can see him from the stage. He's obsessed with you. That's why he's taking your pictures. You're his fantasy. The latest episode of The Suspense Files on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts on this episode, fantasies and felonies. Strip club killers. On The Suspense Files, we cover the who, what, when, where, why, and urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link for the latest episode of the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Try not to fall in love with a stripper.
Did you know that the Sister Speak show is a syndicated podcast on Amazon Alexa and Sonos? Tell a friend. Also let them know that the show is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Thank you for downloading each episode on demand.
Vision, sound, action, create, inspire, impact, evolve. You are now activated. Welcome back. You are listening to the Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show. Brothers and sisters. Ooh. I'm just thinking about how we do stuff, and sometimes, you got to bump your head, and, you learn from experience, and some lessons you have to go through in order to gain your wisdom. Some tribulations that are assigned to your journey, because in these tribulations are nuggets of wisdom that are going to help save your life and equip you to not self-sabotage. And these lessons also bring you closer to your Creator if you are wise. And yes, we are supposed to be with a man, and yes, a woman is supposed to be with a man, and a man is supposed to be with a woman. Yes, we are to come together and be able to link up with who was created for us and start that journey as one, and to have, good love, good communication, healthy, the entire objective of whatever is going on in the home is it is to be healthy. Okay? Healthy in the kitchen, healthy in the bed, healthy in the communication, healthy in the parenting, healthy in the, the love that the husband and the wife that you have for one another. It is the idea of wanting and hoping that the human who you have decided to be vulnerable with, who you have decided to expose your strengths and your weaknesses to, vulnerability, right? Those you have decided to lay with this person and share that moment, those moments with this person, believing that what they say is what they do. That when that garage door opens, or when they back out of that carport or that lot, that they're not getting ready to wild out and be for the streets. That they are, going to do what they said that they're going to do. That when they go to work, that they're just doing the task at hand and not being a player. That every place that they stop off in, that they're not trying to holler or stare at every woman that comes in that's attractive. They're not trying to pursue them by asking them if they got a man, and are you looking for a friend, and, just whatever, that they're just chilling, that they're good, because you believe that everything that you bring into the table is enough and evolving. Hear what I'm saying? Enough and evolving, meaning that you're not becoming stale bread. And that doesn't mean that you're being, slutty to the point to where you're trying to, bring extra things into the marriage because you think that's what's going to solve whatever issue. You feel me? But you know that you're enough and you're evolving, okay? And you are content with this journey. You don't want anybody else. You good with your man. You good with him. So the way you carry yourself when you when you open up the garage, when you back out of the port or the lot, is you really are chilling. You not entertaining any foolishness. You not giving off any extramarital flirty energy. You literally are content with your man and can't wait to see him when he gets home. Can't wait to receive the text. Can't wait to talk to him. Can't wait to just continue on your journey because you believe what he says. And you brothers take that time out to convince us that that's what it is. You literally open your mouth and you spew out sentences that say, hey, trust me, I've got you. I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm not going to bring you to shame. You don't ever have to worry about any other bitches. You don't have to worry about this. No, we good, shawty. You mine, we locked in. You do all those things and say all those things, but that's just not what it is, and you know it. You know it, and the Most High knows it. Maybe your niggas know it. The streets know it. Those other women know it. That when you get out the car or come into the building, you're with the shit. Meanwhile, your woman has a different reputation in the streets. But people are whispering about you because she has no clue. Because you are a habitual player. And you've been one for a long time. This is who you really are. Mid-surface. But underneath that mid-surface, a broken child. On a warpath. And leaving several trails of destruction. And you want your woman to accommodate that fuckery, that foolishness. But you don't understand what your, that you being for the streets is impacting her energy in a major way. And you are consistently chiseling at her confidence, her trust, her algorithm, her equilibrium, her spirituality. You're doing that. You're ruining it. Because she has no clue. You're that good at being a manipulator, a player. Some of you brothers have listened to rap artists who have taught you how not to be a man, a spiritual man, a man of conviction, a man of a thinking man, a homo sapien. They have encouraged you to believe that you should stay broken and continue to break as many women's hearts as you can. And that's both rap and R&B. That's both rap and R&B. Excuse me. Some of you, your favorite rappers have told you that you need to be a PIMP. That's where it's at. Your bitches, your hoes. And you listen to these lyrics and you believe it to be true. And then you let a lyric navigate and narrate how you put your energy out. The type of energy that you should have. Excuse me. And then you get mad when the intuition starts to manifest in your woman. The audacity of the player. You have the audacity to believe you're that good that there's no way you could ever get caught. And you don't realize that you are one prayer away from being discovered. And it's going to happen. And it's going to happen in the worst way, to where you are going to be met at a crossroads of whether or not you are going to continue to destroy and sabotage yourself, your lineage, your life, and the people who are a part of your life. Are you willing to lose your job over a confrontation? Are you willing to lose where your place of residence over a confrontation? Are you willing to have your money altered over a confrontation? To have your penis disfigured over reckless sexual decisions and behaviors? Listening to the doctor speak about the STDs, when I was, seeing the pictures, it's just like, of course, if you all have been listening to my show for a long time, on my resume, I worked at an STD clinic. So I've seen pictures before, some pictures that I will never forget what I saw. I don't even know how it happens. And it's just like, when you don't know how something like that could come about, we know it's the Most High God. It's a punishment. An STD is a punishment. And when you are a habitual player, you are auditioning for STDs. And what I saw on those penises was horrific. And it is the reward for the risk. For a man's penis to look like what I saw, there has to be a gremlin in somebody's vagina. How or that oral sex. There are people right now who have an STD and they're still having sex unprotected. On a warpath, we heard the sister say that she has HIV, name the men on Facebook, name their wives and their girlfriends. Why did you play that clip, Sister Speak? Because this is the effect of being for the streets. Because in the streets, you're going to run into somebody like that, and now your name is being blasted on Facebook. Good going, guy. Congratulations. You really are a player. What place did you come in? Third? Tell me about the medals that you win being a player. Tell me, did you get a cup? Did you get a pinky ring? Did you get invited to the players' ball? Just tell me, what was the reward for this? Because now your business is on Facebook. I just want everybody to know that I have the clappers and I gave it to. And then she's just rolling off the names. But she said it's HIV allegedly. And so when you're a player, you're selfish. You don't give a fuck about anybody else. Not even who you're playing with. You don't care. Because no wife, companion should have to be online and get tagged into your bullshit. And you're dead ass wrong if you ever put your woman in that position. That is fucked up, and it is unfair. And it is dangerous, and it is like, why would you do that? Why would you put your woman in harm's way? Why would you let yourself go? How many more lessons do you have to learn about being a player? Some of you niggas think you're too short. You're not. Look at his face. Look at his stress. He knows that he's put out some things that he probably shouldn't have put out. Being a player leaves you lonely. And you men think that the way to solve being lonely is by fucking on somebody. You're so off on how things are supposed to go. A man went all the way to the streets of Thailand, and the picture of his penis was graphic. And you niggas that are from the I'm just trying to fuck on something generation, you're gonna be an STD model. Some of you niggas don't want to talk about, like whoever that was that posed for that caught that STD, he went to Thailand and caught that. That he caught was inside of that woman. Is it worth it, brother? Are you that horny? Let me explain something to you. Brothers know that they're not having sex with me. You know why? I'm carrying myself that way. There is no penetration happening. Sister Speak, you mean to tell me that you don't ever get, let me explain something to you. I am a woman. I know what I carry. I know what I possess. I know what I want, and I'm willing to wait for it. And after looking at those pictures and listening to these videos, only thing I received was confirmation that celibacy is saving me. It's keeping me. It keeps me from having to go to the clinic. It keeps me from having my lips fall off. It keeps me from having to take a mirror to see what's going on down there because something is off. I don't want to wake up after doing what I had no business doing and receive what's waiting for me. Now, that ain't the type of breakfast in bed that I want. I don't want to be punished for doing what I know better. You know, you reckless in your teens sometimes, reckless in your 20s sometimes. You know, you reckless in your 30s, but there has to be a pause button at some point because you can't keep doing this. How many more tears do you need to listen to, brother? You brothers don't give a fuck that a woman cries when she's hurt anyway. How could you? Those tears that we cry, which are real, y'all don't care. They don't mean anything to you. Some of your responses are stop all that crying, or why are you crying, or when you finna cry, if you finna cry, I'm finna go. Like, you can't handle tears because you've never had any come out of your eyes. So you jealous in a sense, and I don't want to say jealous, but I just think that you don't know how to handle that form of emotion because you were told to turn your water off a long time ago. You were never given the space and validated in that space that it was okay in that space to cry, to let it out, to express yourself, to speak on it, to voice. And so when you see someone cry and you've never cried before, and you've been disrespected for crying, you've only been taught to disrespect somebody who's been encouraged to cry. That's not balance. The devil himself, itself, has done a work on our relationships and our dynamic. We are at war with one another and ourselves. The habitual player is making baby after baby after baby after baby. And that is not cute. That is not leaving something on this earth that is benefiting this earth. What would benefit this earth is if you were to get yourself together. that you could find a woman that you love genuinely and give it all you got? How many of you brothers have ever just taken the time to really give it all that you have in your marriage? How many of you have just really taken the time to say, I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to embarrass the Most High God. I'm not going to hurt my wife. I'm not going to do her like that. I'm not going to leave out this house and live a quadruple life and then have the nerve to come home and belittle, berate, and hurt and have nothing left to give your spouse because you're for the streets and you gave all your energy in the streets and you have nothing left to give your wife. And that which you do give her infects her. Do you understand that a woman who is faithful to you goes into complete shock when she finds out that the man who she loves, who she trusts, who she rides for, who she prays for, who she is dedicated to, has to find out that her man is for the streets. Giving it all she can give, enough and evolving, but have to deal with the shock of that news to find out that you have a whole nother family on the other side of town. That you have been lying the entire time. That everything you said is now in question. You have now stopped and disrupted her flow. And that's not right. There is no reward for being a player. You now present separation into your marriage, divorce into your marriage, family finding out, children sensing something is off. You're now half performing at work. You're not the same because you've been caught, and it should be a relief. It should be a relief that you've been caught. It's a lot to want to go through to feel that you've got to get to the bottom of why things are off in the home, in the relationship. And then to have to take it a step further and have to do some investigating, because I've got to look out for myself too. I think you brothers think that we aren't supposed to think about ourselves, as if we're not supposed to care about our well-being and how we function on our journey. And then we find out, because you leave it in your phone, what it really is. How do you think we feel when we discover the text messages? I mean, how do you think we feel? How do you think we feel when we see that somebody else has your attention? That you have a capacity to love more but not love me more, but that capacity that extra capacity you have, you're willing to give it to her and not to me. That you do know how to be sweet and loving and kind. That you do know how to be reasonable and communicate, because I see you doing it with her, but with me, I can't catch a break. I never do anything right. I'm always trying to fix it because you have decided to be selfish, because you want to be a player, because you feel that there's some things that still need to be satisfied within you. You still feel that you're too fine just for one woman. You're still getting looks when you're out, and so you're tempted. But when we read the text messages and we see the photos or read the email or, even get confronted by your other woman or women, how do you think that makes us feel? And why do you make us feel that way? What has been done to you that you would do that to me when you know I would never do that to you? When men speak and holler, or if they even feel confident, I don't entertain that shit. I keep a warrior energy and countenance about me when I'm out, because I respect you. And I don't want any word to ever get back to you that I'm for the streets, that you made the wrong decision in marrying me, loving on me, having children with me, deciding to go down this journey. When the other woman, confronts us, our world stops. We're having to be on the defense and the offense at the same time. And it's because you are for the streets, but your energy has impacted me. And now I may never bounce back from this. I may never heal from this because you, from what I'm seeing, never loved me. You never cared. This was a game to you because you are a player. You thought I was a console. You thought I was a controller. You thought I was something you could just pop in and play whenever you felt like it. And when you have a contact list full of your quadruple life, when you are a player and you have this whole life in your phone, and then your wife or your significant other doesn't, the recovery time for her it can be a long time. It's dangerous to go and fuck on somebody. I'm just keeping it real. To go and, have sex with somebody when you are separated or, devastated. It's not wise to go and do that. Now you're creating a cycle of reaping for yourself. It's best to go into hermit mode, into prayer mode, and to be still. That's the best thing to do. You don't want to move fast. when you've been hit hard. Sometimes, just like that impact on the video when the woman hit her man with her car after finding out he had HIV, he got hit real hard. Then when he got up, he tried to run and he collapsed. And if you try to get up and run after an impact like that, you're going to collapse. And you don't want to collapse. You want to put yourself in a position to where you're lifted. I don't think it's cool to have to be betrayed. I don't think it's cool to marry somebody knowing that you don't have the same intentions that they do, and to take them on a ride that will embarrass them. I've been embarrassed before. I've been betrayed before. Some of you have been embarrassed and betrayed. Some of you have decided to go on a healing journey because of the player. You've been impacted by this energy, and you decided that you don't want to experience that anymore. And it is a struggle to heal from a betrayal. It is a struggle to bounce back sometimes from what a habitual player can do and does. And it's one thing not to know that he's a player, and it's another thing to know that he is one, and to still leave room for him to continue to do more damage. I'm just disappointed in us that we don't do better. I'm disappointed in men and women. I personally, from what has happened to me in the last years, it was devastating for me. And I'm healing, okay? And I speak about these things from a personal experience and just from, obviously, other people's journeys and so forth. I was completely not in a good place for some time because the enemy came through and really, really wrecked something. And everybody is different in how they heal and if they even choose to heal. I would not know what I know now if I had not gone through what I've gone through. You can't pick your tribulations. You can't avoid challenges. And sometimes your patience gets thin with if you're going to continue to press forward. Because when your world is rocked, when the wind is taken out of your sail, things change rapidly. And I went through some changes. And I would never do what was done to me to somebody who I love. If I'm rocking with you, you need to be rocking with me. I don't tolerate extramarital bullshit. I don't tolerate surprise. I'm for the streets after you know I'm in. It would be a man's wisest decision to stop playing with these women. You brothers better stop playing with these women. You better stop. You're not all that. You're not. You're under pressure and you're broken. You've got a demon on you and it sucks you dry sexually. And you are running from what's really going on. I'm grateful that I think I might love again. That I might allow myself to feel love for the very first time from someone. Because when you heal or you start that process, you know what's up and what's not. And sometimes you just don't know what it is until you're out of it, you know. In my perfect world, none of what happened, and to me specifically, would have happened. It would be a whole different vibe if I could have it my way. But I'm not in control. But what I do know is that if I don't enable, then things will be stable. You have to be afraid. You cannot be afraid to let it go. And we stay when we should let it have a break. And when you are in that break, you hope that your spouse doesn't take up another relationship with another woman. And sometimes a married man can be for the streets when he's separated. And instead of healing, instead of just letting time for things to cool off, he'll go and he'll get in another relationship. And that's called an affair. Some people think that when you are separated from your wife or your husband, you can do what the fuck you want to do. That's a lie. You can't. But people do. And so the opportunity to repair, reconcile your relationship kind of becomes less likely because your spouse is now in another relationship. So love has been tainted and lust has become the president of many people's actions. I think it's pretty pathetic that instead of more stronger couples, all we see is fuck shit. And I'm just not here for it. So if you're going to try to marry me, if you're going to try to see what I'm about, I wouldn't even come this way if I can't see what you say. The habitual player is under pressure. He is for the streets, and his energy is impacting everybody's energy. You niggas that have children with women and you know that you're the daddy, but you letting another nigga raise your kids and pay child support and letting this nigga think that he's really the daddy and you are in cohort and are in secret with the children's mother about this, shame on you. Shame on you niggas who got children across the other side of town and you keep them a secret because you don't want to get in trouble with your wife. Shame on you for letting them kids grow up in a fucked up situation on the other side of town while your kids on this side of town got everything that they need. Fuck you. The habitual player does that type of shit. Got kids on the other side of town, but it's a secret. And they have no idea that they're seeing their brothers and sisters. To every man who knows that he's the biological father of a child or children, but you chose to walk away from your responsibilities and let another man do it. Wow. The habitual player. The receipts are real. On the Culture Climate, we are raising the temperature in controversial conversations. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm over it. It's 12:21. I'm getting ready to roll this thing on down and lay down in this queen size bed with this wonderful mattress that I have. And I'm about to really just meditate and relax. I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. I do have another episode that I'm going to put out. I've already found the clips. Probably got some more clips to find. Oh, goodness. The fuck shit just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. Let me tell you this. I'm not confronting another woman about my man. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting out that energy because how dare you fucking put me in a position to where I have to confront another woman about you. Baby, it wasn't even like that. It was like that and then some. You only fucked on her one time times 50,000. She don't mean nothing to me. The lies you fucking tell. Over it. I'm not confronting another woman. I'm not trying. Now, you step to me, you're going to get paws put on you because I ain't got shit to say. If I even feel like I'm threatened, if I even feel like it, it's going to be what it is. And I don't even want to have to do that shit. I'm not finna argue or talk about this nigga with you. I'm not doing that shit. I'm at a phase in my life, a season in my life where I'm not finna confront or even argue, talk about him eating this or doing that. I'm not finna do that shit. I'm not about to do that. You can have the nigga. You can have him because I'm better than that. I don't have the energy to talk to you about this nigga. I just don't. And when you get to that point in your life, you know you have reached a level in your life where you can heal. Because when your self-esteem is low, you're going to be ready to get into it. You're going to be arguing and all kind of stuff and just acting a fool. Fuck that shit. The damage is done. Because I should have never had to confront or be confronted in the first place. That's what you all do to your marriage. Fuck it up. All the time. All the time. You fuck it up all the time. But women, y'all niggas fuck up y'all marriages all the time. I said this on the last show when I talked about cheating. I'm going to say it on this one. You leave your emails open. You leave direct contact with all of your exes. You have not established any boundaries. Therefore, they continue to cross them. And your wife just has to deal with it. That's why you don't see anything wrong with a little bump and grind. You don't care about your wife. You don't care because you're a player doing what players do. The habitual player is under pressure. And I'm hoping that one day soon, love can actually be what it is. I want to see what you say. You've got a lot of things to clean up, brother. Here's the mop. Here's the Clorox. Here are the paper towels. Here's the disinfectant. Here's the scrub daddy. Here's the bucket. Here's the hot water. Get to scrubbing and get to cleaning. Your life is a mess as a player.
Did you know that the Sister Speak Show is a syndicated podcast on Amazon Alexa and Sonos? Tell a friend. Also let them know that the show is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Thank you for downloading each episode on demand.
Go ahead and get a glass of water. You can take the heat, so go ahead and stay in the kitchen. Just make sure you keep listening to the Sister Speak Show while you do it, because you're listening to The Culture Climate, raising the temperature in controversial conversations. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas.
We're going to go ahead and get out of here. I am your host, Sister Speak. Thank you for being a wonderful listening audience and tuning in to The Culture Climate, raising the temperature in controversial conversations. The Sister Speak Show is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana, but you better call me Sister Speak. I return to sender all spell work, voodoo, and black magic. My listening audience is divinely protected. I rebuke the dark one. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God, my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield, and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Fret not thyself, because of evildoers, for in due season they shall be cut down like the withered herb. The time has been well spent. Listening audience, thank you. Thank you for your participation and your patience. I meant everything that I said. It had to be said. The transparency, the vulnerabilities. And brother, may you heal. Sister, may you heal. And may love have its perfect way. The devil is already defeated. Warriors mount